applause. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about exploring Minecraft and Python, learning to code through play. That's weird. Applause. Not quite. Okay. This talk's really going to be about the programmable Minecraft experience. How can we set up and configure an API to interact with Minecraft? Get kids in front of it with and programmatically interact with their Minecraft world. We're going to talk a bit about Minecraft, both the Pi and the PC versions. We're going to cover tools needed to get set up, discuss the API, some of its capabilities, look at some projects and challenges, and I'll share some resources with you. So when you go home, you'll know where to look and to kind of take the next steps. And then we'll have some time for QA. So my goal is really to make sure see if everyone can learn a little something about Minecraft if you don't already, understand the API's capabilities, and know where to look to get things when you get home. A lot of people have also told me they've kind of been peer pressured into coming here from family members, so feel free to take off. I won't tell. A little bit about me. My name is Kirk Grandis. I'm the CTO at a company called Perilio. We are hiring, although not much in the way of Minecraft. I'm also the advisor for Astro Code School, which is a Python Django school that helps train adults to become web dev. This particular talk kind of starts a few years ago when I gave a PyCon talk. They got some attention and circulated around the web a bit. After the talk, I started getting a lot of emails from parents and educators around the world. People sending emails asking, like, how can I get my kids involved to program? How can build robots? How can we do all these things? And I had some resources that I could share with people. But it really got me, but I wasn't thrilled with everything that was out there. I wanted something a little bit more. So it got me started getting involved in the community, trying to work and start some outreach and training programs geared towards younger kids. And since then, I've organized a number of community training programs for kids and adults, Learn to Code Python. And after one particular PyCon education summit, a few participants and I were gathered around and we were talking about Minecraft and the possibilities it offers as an educational tool. So sort of fast forward to today. So the problem or challenge right now is, can we create an environment that's easy and engaging enough for teaching kids to program? We have some evidence to suggest the immersive Minecraft world is the way to go. So what is Minecraft? So you've got Steve and Alex are default main characters in Minecraft. Chances are, if you're here, you've at least heard about Minecraft, and maybe you've heard a lot about Minecraft. If you haven't, I encourage you to go to local elementary school class and ask some kids about Minecraft. 72 hours later, chances are you've unleashed a bottomless pool of unbridled enthusiasm and excitement. They want to tell you about every adventure, creation, nook and cranny of their creation, an idea they had, or maybe an idea that their friend built, and it goes on and on. It's really impressive. I mean, what it captures and the passion you see out there. But really, so what is Minecraft? From the Minecraft website, it's a game about breaking and placing blocks. Yeah. That about captures it. And sometimes about having your blocks and precious creations blown up. That little guy is a creeper. His hissing sound usually means he snuck up on you and things are about to get exploded. But the Minecraft world, it's not unlike Legos. You create, you build, and you interact with your world. There are weather cycles, autonomous animals and monsters, crafting systems to build all sorts of things depending on your interests. You can play in a creative mode where you can't die. You have all the possible resources to build anything you want. Or you can go survival mode where there's hunger and monsters out to get you. Whatever floats your boat. I mean, people play many different styles. Either way, it's a huge world. There's biomes and unlimited places to explore. And it becomes your world, or maybe a world you share with friends and family, um, with tons of things to build. Or like this. This is a rendering of King's Landing that someone built in Minecraft. You know, there's a reason it's been ported to so many platforms, and it's as popular as it is. I mean, you see it on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, Macs, various Pocket editions. The Pi edition has gained some attention at PyCon as for being able to play it on the Raspberry Pi. And just to quickly touch on some of its popularity, just a few numbers just to capture from some recent published reports to capture give you a sense of where it is. So a year ago, there's 54 million sales total across all those platforms. And just a few months ago, there were 30 million in the Pocket Edition alone. Another recent survey looked at gaming-related YouTube videos, broke them down by gaming communities or by game. And the survey found that 41% of all the gaming-related videos on YouTube were Minecraft-related. It's also the second most searched term on YouTube. All this to say is Minecraft has captured the minds and imagination of our youth and adults. It's a world that many children will engage with and are motivated by. So it presents us with many learning opportunities and potential for teachable moments within the game. Okay, it's popular. So what does it have to do with programming? Motivation and getting that first interest hook right away. That's what's really important and cool here. Right now you have the first steps in introducing code are often let's build console-based games, maybe a Pygame interaction. And there are some truly great resources out there. But they take a little bit of buy-in by the student. You know, what's the immediate payoff? Does the reward or feedback enter my world? That's why the move towards introducing some robotics or physical programmable elements are sort of exciting because they allow the kids to see their work or feedback in action as a physical creation or interactions in the real world. Well, Minecraft is pretty much a real world. I mean, they've already invested in this immersive world, and the actions in that world are real or real enough and cheaper than most robots. So how or where do Python and Minecraft meet? So the Raspberry Pi really opened the door for this kind of programmable, interactive Minecraft experience. In late 2012, Mojang released a new Minecraft version called Minecraft Pi Edition. It was a Pocket-esque, stripped-down version of Minecraft that could run on the Raspberry Pi. It also introduced the means to programmatically interact with the server via Python, the MCPI API. Now, before I jump down that road, let me just tell you what happened. So that Minecraft Pi Edition is released. Over the next year or two, kids and educators all over get involved with coding programs and outreach programs and play with their Pis and play with their Minecraft Pi. They learn all these cool things, everyone has fun, and then they go home. Maybe they don't have Raspberry Pis at home, or they have different systems, but they can't apply what they've learned to their real Minecraft servers. They can't do it at home on their own machines or with friends, or maybe like their neighborhood server, because it was limited only to Raspberry Pi. So, you know, what do they do? Into Raspberry Juice. So there's a world of Minecraft mods out there, and these are things that you can install that modify how the Minecraft world functions or how you interact with the server. Bukkit is one particular Minecraft mod that makes it easier to build and manage other plugins and sort of optimize their performance while keeping things modular. It presents its own little API. Raspberry Juice is one such plugin that hooks into a regular Minecraft PC server. And it exposes an API very similar to the one created by the Minecraft Pi. So once it's installed, you can bring all the same Minecraft API fun to your home or your neighborhood servers. Martin O'Hanlon, one of the maintainers of Raspberry Juice, also created a Canary mod version for those of you who are interested. Um, so Minecraft Pi is still out there. It's still being used, although it hasn't been updated since 2013. Raspberry Juice has kept up with those updates and tries to stay in sync with Minecraft proper. I think the last time I saw it had updates like 3 months ago. And I think I'd also seen a Mojang dev say that they weren't going to be building a native API into Minecraft proper because Raspberry Juice was already out there. So it's got some clout and is out there. So now you have two main routes to programmatically access the Minecraft world: Minecraft Pi and Raspberry Juice. This little Hello World snippet shows how you can connect to Raspberry Juice or a Raspberry Juice ready server or a Minecraft server. Really simple here, where post to chat sends that message to the Minecraft world. The MCPI package right there can be found in the Minecraft Pi distribution. It can also be found in the Raspberry Pi repository. Print post to chat hello world, and then you can see in the lower left-hand corner in the chat com, hello world appears. So usually spend a lot of time just chatting, yelling back and forth with one another once you introduce that concept. But moving Steve or Alex around is an important part of the Minecraft experience, right? So this is one of the next thing that's typically covered after figuring out how to chat. And from here you can see get pos, get position, returns a vector containing XYZ coordinates into the Minecraft world. And using that, you can move the player about, and there are various other aspects of their position you can get, such as direction, pitch, and rotation. All these are available, and there's complementary setters for each of those methods. Okay, so you may have noticed a vector, a 3D vector being introduced to all this. So clearly, in order to move forward, I have to teach a lesson on floating point end tuples in a three-dimensional Cartesian space using Minecraft's sort of wonky axis system. And then I can back that up with common core standards labeled here. And there are more, but this at least covers the basic coordinate system. Yeah, that doesn't happen. So how can we learn this through play and experience? I teach the kids about F1. So in Minecraft, if you hit F1, it opens up all sorts of these debugging values. So there's a lot of stuff up there. But then you can point them to, you can see there's X, Y, and Z. Those are your player's current position in the world. And then you have them move about, do their regular thing, and they watch how those values move. If they're aligned with some sort of a cardinal position, they'll see one of those numbers ticking up or down very quickly while the others stay stable. So it's a matter of going out, experiencing the world, making some observations, see if they can control them, have them move forward or backwards. You can spend a lot of time on this, kind of just introducing the concepts of coordinate systems, buried treasures at certain coordinates, virtual geocaching. You can have them go out and collect X, Y, and Z values for a few different biomes and have them save that later for when they learn how to teleport. That gives them a little jump book. Oh, I can get to the mushroom biome this way. Here's my little save points. Let them play around with those values, a few of these challenges. I found that the coordinate system makes a lot more sense with them almost as, oh, this is a tool to help you map your Minecraft experience, so shorthand for representing their world. It just makes that math lesson much easier if they've already had that sort of internalized concept of what's going on. Well, for a game about building things with blocks, we should probably be able to set or build blocks. You need a set of coordinates and a block ID. What do you want to place, and where do you want to place it? There are websites out there with a full list of blocks and IDs. The MCPI package has some handy enumerations for quick reference. So you can see here it says block.stone. That's going to reference a stone block. That's going to be placed at whichever in the X, Y, and Z values. and it's going to place it there. Or if there's something there already, it's going to be replaced with a stone block. A stone block is going to be there. And the second example allows you to set a range of blocks, a rectangular prism. Cue another Common Core standard if you want to. These are all foundations for doing anything else and creating like countless seas of lava. So much lava. As far as the interactive system goes, we've seen sensors on players, right? We know how to find a player. We can even detect where they're facing, if they're pitched up or down, all these sorts of things. And those are in degrees, so if you want to start teaching some Angular maths, anything dealing with that, have at it. But it's not required. They can play around with it and see what happens when they start changing those values. But there's other things we can use as far as a sensor system goes. We can query specific locations with the get block, which will return a block ID. So in this case, we say, what exists at this point in space? And maybe we get something like it's stone. You can also get an area of IDs for an area of blocks with the get blocks. So once you have these, you can start building some more intelligent systems that let you make decisions based on a player's position or a condition in space. Do something if this type of block is here. So once we have that under our belt, we can start manipulating our world, and we demonstrate some of our power and capabilities here. This is where I've enjoyed kind of introducing challenges to get things started. And it's just to kick things off, because once they start playing around in the world, they're off doing their own things. But sometimes it helps with a few. One common task in Minecraft, you want to build something really cool, but all this terrain is in the way. There's a mountain here, there's trees, and there's mods you can get that flatten the world and make things all simple, but we can program that too. So here, just using some of the commands we just learned, we can find a location and use the set blocks command to determine the area that you want cleared. So you set blocks, a big ray, or a big cube in this case, but instead of setting block stone, we set blocks air. So this is an example of a 100 cubic block clearing of air that just sliced through the world and cut through some lava streams and underground waterfalls. And you can start slicing up the world and you start seeing cross sections that looks like ant tunnels and things like that. Or you just flatten the plains and build what you're out to build. Next, introducing functions as reusable commands for recreating commonly made shapes or structures. Commands for walls created just the way you want them. Spheres of variable size. Sometimes if you don't do it or you haven't seen kids do it, there's little patterns of how to build your circles in this 8-bit block world. So let's do it programmatically so we don't have to keep checking those grid charts. Or buildings the way you want them. And sometimes you just need a more convenient way to drop lava. This turns into a fun game. Attempting to drop lava on each other using coordinates is a game in and of itself. That gives, it's like it builds an intuitive sense of the coordinate system. It's kind of a cross between Battleship and Scorched Earth. Project-based learning, shapes and building functions are static. They're not interactive in nature. Some may accept an argument, but they'll likely do the same thing every time. What happens when we start giving challenges that require conditionals and logic? So this is the Nether portal. If you can construct one, it can transport you to the Netherworld, which is a creepy place with different types of creatures and dangers. Well, you can kind of create your own teleporter. Maybe it's a special block of dyed wool, and if a player stands on that wool block, they're instantly teleported to another location, another teleporter, or maybe it triggers another event. But you can say, we can ask questions where the player is, where this block is, and then set them, move them somewhere else. And of course, someone has created a Minecraft version of Conway's Game of Life. I think there was one, if you go back to the Lightning Talks, I think at PyCon 2013, you can see one example, or search for that online. But in all of its glory, all the Game of Life pieces moving through the sky, it's blocks. There's so many possibilities out there. One thing, Martin O'Hanlon, who I mentioned earlier, recently released Minecraft Turtle, which it basically turns Steve into the logo turtle with similar commands: Steve right, Steve left, Steve forward. And I mean, you can now create three-dimensional turtle-esque or logo shapes. Very cool. So as far as resources go, one thing I wanted to, I appreciate the Raspberry Juice plugin may be too complicated for many to set up on their own. It's creating a bucket server, all these things. I created a simple website where you could go to insert some basic payment information and just stand up a very simple Minecraft server pre-configured with Bucket and Raspberry Juice. The idea was to create something easy for educators to use for a session and then tear it down at the end. I took it down. I didn't want to have to charge much, and I wasn't ready to manage something like that this time. But I did speak with a Minecraft hosting company before this talk, CubedHost, and I looked into it. I mean, there's plenty of other Minecraft hosts out there. Feel free to investigate those. I did grab a promo code from them. If you plug in PyCon, you can get 20% off the first month. But they have kind of point and click, set up a Minecraft server, install it with whatever Bucket plugins you want. So that's one way to kind of get up and running quickly if you don't want to stand up your own server. Other resources for just sort of getting started when you get home, Martin O'Hanlon and David Whale wrote this book, Adventures in Minecraft, which captures a lot of recipes and how-tos in there. Martin also has a lot of stuff. He has a website called Stuff About Code, and he covers a lot of that material, has a lot of resources and things related to what's been mentioned today, as well as many more examples and points of inspiration. The MC PyPy blog isn't regularly updated these days, but has many projects and examples on there, along with a GitHub repo with some of that code. So a lot's changed in the past year, even since I proposed giving this talk. Minecraft's been purchased by Microsoft for $2.5 billion. Minecraft books and resources continue to pop up with some great resources out there. Momentum to teach kids, the code continues to build. So, I mean, who knows where we're going to be next year. I hope everyone learned a little something from this talk and knows how to proceed at home or point in the right direction if you're interested. I see it as being a great tool to teach programming and frankly many other subjects as well in a sort of integrated approach. Minecraft has a wide audience. It reaches across ages, gender, and interests. It's a great tool, but that's it. You know, it's one tool, and in the end, we need to find the right method to reach our students. And for some, it's something else. But please, let me know. I'd love to hear about any further work you do, any successes or experiments you do based on anything you see here. Questions?
Can you hear me? Yep. Okay, cool. I've tried to set up Bucket before, and I found it very difficult. Do you have any suggested resources for setting that up? Apart from, I mean, the hosting thing is great, but if I just wanted to set up myself, any suggested resources?
Yeah, it took a little work for me as well. I mean, I think I forget if maybe DigitalOcean had some how-tos or something, and I followed those, and I pieced it together from some other forum posts as well. So no good, easy things. I think maybe DigitalOcean had something or someone linked to it, but that's as far as I go simply. Other than that, find a easier hosting.
Hi. So this isn't really a question, but Martin O'Hanlon, who you mentioned 3 times in your talk, he's a good friend of mine, and I mentioned that you mentioned him 3 times, and he's just tweeted back to me, "No way, really? That's put a smile on my face. What's the context?" And I'm like, "Duh, PyCon." But I'd just like to say, if you'd like to see Martin in action, because he runs workshops at PyCon UK, he's going to be working with, well, last year it was 80 kids. Next year I think it's going to be around 150 kids doing a day of Minecraft workshops. And I'd just like to say everything that you've said is true. And it might be a little bit like a monkey infestation, but it's amazing to see these kids really respond to programming in Python with Minecraft. It's a wonderful thing. Keep up the good work. Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you.
Hi, and thank you. So I've fancied myself a competent Python programmer, but I didn't understand a word of the Minecraft pieces of this discussion. In your experience, what level of knowledge of Minecraft do you need to reasonably help maybe a passionate Minecraft player do something learning on their own?
I'd say just spin it up and play a few minutes of it, and you're good to go. I mean, really, yeah. I mean, play around with it. I mean, there are some really in-depth things in Minecraft, but like, we're not really going to touch any of the crafting systems, all these other things. Really, just deals with blocks and moving things around. So, not much at all. It's basically just showing them the incantations. So, especially with the younger ones, you're just showing like this is the formula to make things happen. It's sort of like rote. This is how I move things. They just have to learn these sorts of commands, and it's really just helping them move forward on that. So, yeah, give it a shot.
Thank you.
First of all, thank you for this. My students have been asking me to work with Python and Minecraft for a while, and I know nothing about Minecraft, so I haven't. Is it reasonable to set up a local server and have students start with an empty world, or is that the wrong direction?
Yeah, absolutely. Although by empty world, it's so that you can start off with just pre-generated worlds and you just keep pre-generating things. But yeah, I mean, there's options to just kind of create a flat world with nothing in it. You know, whatever you want to accomplish. Certainly, the terrain adds another level of interest, being able to run around and explore.
Thank you.
Oh, and yeah, setting up a local server makes a ton of sense if you can do that.
Hi, great talk. I'm the developer of RuneCraft, so if there are any other modders here, I'd love to talk to you guys. I had not heard of the Pi Edition. I've been doing Bucket development right now. What's the feature set comparison? I mean, are we talking like a tiny subset, or can I set metadata on items and things like that?
Yeah, there's I believe there's just like a very small number of APIs on the Pi that are not available on Bucket version or the Raspberry Juice version, but at the same time, the Raspberry Juice version has some extra API calls as well. So I mean, they're very similar. The other thing that Raspberry Juice gives you that is the multiplayer support through the API. So being able to reference other players and things like that, which I think is very cool, especially when you're in a classroom setting.
Thank you.
Hey, great talk. I just wanted to add, I wrote a couple Minecraft clones, and one was in Python. If you Google Python Minecraft, it's actually on the first page. It's about 500 lines of Python.